Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Edupreneur webinar number 8. This is 8 of 9 webinars. Tomorrow's our last one. This webinar is in Scale Your Edupreneurial Venture. For those of you that are here, I would love for you to share your preferred name in the chat. Also, tell us what your business name or idea is. If you don't have a business yet, that is okay. Maybe you have some ideas of what your business will be. And then tell us what's the inspiration behind your business or idea. And thinking about this topic, scale your edupreneurial venture, what are your expectations of today? What are you looking for from this conversation today? Type that in the chat. Today's webinar is brought to you by the Edupreneurship Academy, where we hope to help you convert your teaching expertise into revenue. We want to help you generate revenue. I am Dr. Erica Jewell, and I am excited to be hosting webinars for edupreneurs. I am a practitioner, an edupreneur, and a researcher myself. I do hold a PhD in educational studies for diverse populations. I'm also a national board certified teacher as an exceptional needs specialist. I am ending my 18th year in education, 12 of which were spent in urban public school settings. This is my 11th year as an edupreneur. I really like to say that I'm a serial edupreneur now because I have more than one business. All right, so I extend a challenge each time we meet for the webinars. Today's challenge is for you to watch your mouth. Watch what you say. You should not say things like, I've never been good with technology. I've never taught adults. I've never charged for my services. Now, these things may be true, but we have to watch what we say. It is important for us to watch what we say. So let's take let's take that out of our vocabulary. Let's just scratch that from the record and not even use that in our vocabulary. Instead, say, I have, I have, Type that in the chat. What is something that you have done? I have, What is something even that you have? I have expertise in, what, what do you have? Or what have you done? Today, I do ask that you are an active listener. I know that in the hustle and bustle of the everyday life of many of us, we are busy and we're not focused and we're not active listeners, but I do encourage you to be an active listener today. There will be some information that can help you. I also ask that you participate, type in the chat, come off mute, and let us hear your voice in response to some of the things that we'll be discussing today. Also, if you'd like, please take notes. There's plenty of information here for you to take notes. And should you have any questions, feel free to type those in the chat, or you can also come off mute. Of course, I want to give you our vocabulary every time we meet. An edupreneur is an educator with an entrepreneurial mindset. Some people use the term teacherpreneur. It's the same thing. I personally prefer edupreneur. And edupreneurial orbit. Now, this is a phrase that I have coined. To me, your edupreneurial orbit is a dynamic network of relationships and connections. It's also used to cultivate and enhance you professionally and personally. And finally, it should serve as a support and improvement mechanism for your business. I do believe that all edupreneurs should have an edupreneurial orbit, which will help you to be a successful business owner. All right, now that we've gotten our vocabulary out of the way, let's jump into our topic for today. Scale your edupreneurial venture. Today, my goal is to define scale for you as it relates to business. I'll also share key strategies for scaling. And finally, I'll give you 10 implementation steps to scale. All right. So, what does scaling mean in business? So, when I think the word scale, I think of getting on the scale to see how much I weigh. Okay. But scaling in business is different. I also think of the word, when I think of the word scaling, I also think of climbing or scaling the side of a mountain. Okay. But we're talking about, what does scaling mean in business? According to Tony Robbins, to scale simply means to increase your revenue at a faster rate than your costs. So you're increasing your revenue at a faster rate than your costs. So, of course, that results in a good profit. All right. Now, Tony Robbins does say that there is a difference between growing and scaling. You may be thinking, never thought that there was a difference. Pray tell, what is that difference? So, according to Tony Robbins, growing means you're increasing your revenue as a result of a new business acquisition, for example, or you're growing, which means that you're hiring more employees and you're expanding your office. That shows that you're growing. And he also says that it typically results in even losses and gains. Scaling, on the other hand, he says, refers to finding ways to grow more efficiently so that your gains outpace your losses. Again, that revenue, that profit generation piece is there. He also says that it refers to growing your business efficiently and intelligently. And we'll talk about that in more depth in a moment. But from what I gather from Tony Robbins, scaling includes growth. There is a difference between the two, but scaling includes the growing side as well. Growing does not necessarily include scaling. So that made sense. So, what are some key strategies for scaling? What are those key strategies for scaling? So, there are three key strategies for scaling that you want to focus on if you're considering scaling your business. And those are market expansion, product diversification, and operational efficiency. Okay, so we'll dig into each of those and determine how can you, as we're going along, I want you to be thinking about, how does this apply to your business? How can you apply it to your business? If not today, maybe tomorrow or next month or even next year. But if you're thinking about scaling, here are the three things that I want you to focus on. So, market expansion. So, this refers to you increasing your customer base for an existing product or service that you have by entering new geographic markets, okay? Targeting new customer segments, or by doing both. So, what does that look like? If, for example, your business currently serves the Central Alabama region, let's make it a little broader than where I am in Birmingham. Maybe your region, your services or your product are in Central Alabama. So that market expansion may look like your goal is to expand from just Central Alabama to the entire state of Alabama. Later, you may want to expand just from the state of Alabama to the southeastern region of the United States. So maybe the Floridas, the Georgias, the Mississippis, the Tennessees, the Carolinas. It's up to you. What do you see as the potential of market expansion for your business? Think about that and write it down. Have goals. Right now, my particular geographic market is located here, but I can see expansion happening here. Something that can help you with market expansion also to inform that is for you to look at your analytics on If you have any social media sites that you post to, look at your analytics and see where your views may be coming from. Or you can also look at your analytics on your website. Your website can also give you insights of where people are actually logging into or clicking on your website. Where are they from? Are they from Mississippi? Are they from Tennessee? And that can give you an idea of whether that is a possible market area for you. So, second is product diversification. You can add new products or services to your existing portfolio, and this will help you to attract a broader customer base and reduce risk. So, what this looks like is, for example, if you're currently offering services to teachers that may be in urban settings, maybe expanding or diversifying means now I offer my services to not only urban school teachers, but I offer them also to suburban school teachers. Okay, that's diversifying what you're offering. And then maybe you add rural teachers to that as well. So you've got a diversification. And what that also requires you to do is to tweak your product or service for that particular customer base. Okay, because what you present, let's say your focus is on presenting and facilitating workshops. The way you present and facilitate workshops for urban schools may be different from the way that you present and facilitate for suburban school teachers. Okay, so diversify what you're offering in your products and services. And then when we talk about operational efficiency, this refers to delivering products or services in the most cost effective manner without compromising quality. You want your customers, clients, your patrons, whatever you call your customers, you want them to experience quality service, quality products. So you want to think about how can I do this in a more efficient way, more cost effective way, without compromising the quality of my product or my service. Okay. Because remember, we talked about your brand and the importance of your brand. So you want to make sure that what people say about your brand is positive and quality plays a role in that. So it's important for you to be open to changing your approach based on feedback and market conditions. You want to seek feedback from your customer client base and be able to change your approach, tweak your approach, improve your approach based on that, as well as marketing conditions. Continuously improve what you're offering, whether it's a product or whether it's a service, continuously, intentionally improve your offerings. All right, so here are the 10 steps for scaling your edupreneurial ventures. There are 10 steps. The first thing you want to do is assess your skills and interests. What are your skills? This to me ties to our webinar discussion about what being able to leverage your skill sets. If you identified what your skills and interests are, and it also ties to our webinar about determining what your niche is. Okay, what are you good at? What do you innately do well? Determine, assess your skills and your interests. That's first. Before you scale, you need to know what those things are. Next, identify the problems that you can solve. Businesses are productive, businesses are effective because they solve people's problems. You should be able to identify and communicate what those problems are that you're solving. Next, you should analyze your market. We talked before about doing your market research. Analyze your market. See, what does your market want? What does your market not want? Do what they want, stay away from what they don't want. Okay. Next, you need to understand your audience, understand who they are. That may take interviewing them, that may take um, giving them surveys to complete for you to understand your audience and what they need. What are their pain points? Then you want to evaluate your competition. Your competition is important. Look and see, what is the competition doing? What are they doing well? What are some things that you can learn from them? But what are also some gaps? What are some things that they're not addressing? That's an opportunity for you. Then you should combine your interests with market demand. Whatever your interests are, look at the market demand and put those together, synergize those, and make sure that your interests align before you do that. And then you should experiment and test. You've got the idea for your product or your service, and then you want to experiment and test to see if what you're thinking is viable as a business is actually viable. Look for overlooked niches. There may be some overlooked niches that tie to what you're doing, but no one is in that area. No one is tapping into that market. That's a place for you to plug in. Then use keyword research tools. Those keyword research tools will help you to answer the question of, what do the people in my market, what do they want? What are their pain points? Keyword research tools can help you find out what the pain points are, find out what questions people are asking. And so then that can help inform what you offer for your services and products, but it can also help inform what you produce in the way of content for your social media platforms. Trust me, I know. I use keyword research tools myself. And finally, leverage your network. Here is where you leverage the people that are in your edupreneurial orbit. You reach out to them, you ask them for feedback, you ask them questions, you get them to connect you to other people that need what you have to offer. Leverage your network, AKA leverage your edupreneurial orbit. These are the 10 steps for how you scale your edupreneurial ventures. You can create scalable products and services by standardizing what you offer. This is referring to you having processes and streamlined processes in place. That is important. Standardize what you offer. You can develop courses and programs that can easily be replicated. For Learning Little People, my very first business, our focus is mainly on professional learning unit courses. So we provide those now completely online. Initially, we started out providing them in person. That was back in 2014. So as the years have progressed, we have since that time, we have added to what we offer. So what has helped with our online courses, though, is for me to have streamlined the process, one, to get our PLU course applications approved by the State Department of Education, but two, to build our courses in a way that were replicable. That helped to save time, and it also helped our brand because the courses, although the content changed, the format of them looked similar to one another. Well, it is time for me to share the tips with you. Each webinar I'm giving you one additional tip. Let's go through tips numbers 1 through 7, and then I will give you tip number 8, the tip for today's webinar. Tip number 1 was for you to record all ideas that come to your mind as soon as possible. You can do so by writing it in an idea book, by putting it in your notes app on your phone, or by recording it in the voice memos app on your phone. Tip number 2 was intentionally expand your edupreneurial orbit. This is important. Do it intentionally. You can do so by serving on school and nonprofit boards, by volunteering for committees and coalitions, and you can also do it by presenting at conferences. Tip number 3 is for you to give adult learners TMI. That does not mean too much information. T, give them time to process information. M, give them movement opportunities. And I, give them interaction activities. Tip number 4 was for you to give your brand a personality. You do this by defining and expressing your brand's value, developing a unique brand voice, and creating visual identity and experiences. Tip number 5, I told you, market in reams, not just sheets. And I used the acronym, created the acronym REAM, REAM, reach by sharing content across multiple platforms, engage with your audience to create a loyal community, amplify the impact by repurposing and cross promotion, and measure your marketing effort effectiveness and optimize your strategies. Tip number 6, I said for you to say it's copyrighted. Literally say copyrighted and not copywritten, but you also say that your intellectual property is copyrighted by including the word copyright and the copyright symbol on whatever the intellectual property is, whether it's your website or whether it's an article or a published work, by also sharing the name of the copyright owner or author of the work, by adding the year the content was published, and finally ending with all rights reserved. That's how you say it's copyrighted. Tip number 7 was for you to break free from the teacher poor mindset. We've got to let that mindset go in order for us to be profitable edupreneurs. We can do this by identifying our unique skills and expertise, by researching the market rate for our product and service, and then by determining our rate without undercutting our expertise, and finally, by communicating our value and fees with conviction. And now it is time for tip number 8. Tip number 8 is simply don't be afraid to scale. You may feel afraid, but don't be afraid to scale. It's time. So, to help you not be afraid to scale, I want you to start by identifying manageable steps that you can take to scale your business. Think about what those manageable steps are. Start there. Make the steps manageable to scaling. After that, I want you to seek guidance from your edupreneurial orbit. Ask those in your edupreneurial orbit again for feedback. Ask them for assistance. Do not be afraid to scale and don't be afraid to ask for help. And finally, you can stop being afraid to scale by investing in courses, workshops, and reading materials on scaling. This is going to help inform you and educate you on how to scale your business. That way, you can move out of being afraid. Don't be afraid to scale. There's no need to be afraid. So there you have it. 3 steps in order for you to stop being afraid to scale. Don't be afraid to scale. If you are afraid, stop being afraid to scale. Well, we have completed so many of our webinars. We have completed leverage your teaching expertise, identify your ideal niche, design engaging adult learning experiences. We've also completed master branding essentials, unlock digital marketing strategies, navigate administrative and legal essentials, and we've completed secure lucrative contracts. And today we're done with scale your edupreneurial orbit. Scale your entrepreneurial venture. Excuse me. So, tomorrow is our very last free webinar in this series, and it is entitled Measure Your Success. Measuring your success is important to your business. And there is the flyer for it. Measure your success. I do want to let you know that you can join the Edupreneurship Academy, and this will help you to build your edupreneurial orbit. If you are interested in one-on-one edupreneur coaching with me, that is $170 per month. If you would prefer not to have a month-to-month coaching session or two with me, then you can sign up for a one-time one-on-one session with me for $195. You can see that on my website, drericajewel.com. But with this, the month to month, you will enjoy two 30-minute Zoom sessions with me, as well as personalized guidance and strategic planning. We'll dig deep into your business. I'm going to give you customized feedback on your website, for example, for on proposals that you may be creating to submit to school leaders or to whomever your clients and customer bases are. I'll also help you with some goal setting and accountability, and I'll connect you with industry experts to help build your entrepreneurial orbit and to make your business profitable. We are excited because we will have our very first Edupreneur Accelerator Retreat next year, June 12th through the 14th. We would love for you to join us for this 3-day all-inclusive intensive. The fee for it is only $3,275. Your meals are included, as well as personalized coaching. We'll have industry experts there. There will be numerous networking opportunities for you and other edupreneurs. You do have to be a member of the Edupreneurship Academy in order to attend. If by chance you need a month-to-month payment plan, that is available to you right now at the fee of $290. And here is our suite of offerings. We do have Edupreneur Mastery Series courses that are interactive and on demand. They are exciting. Trust me when I tell you. They're also research-based, and I'm giving you practical strategies that are going to help build your business, okay? You'll also enjoy exclusive discounts for being a part of the Edupreneur Mastery Series. You do have the opportunity and the option of joining the Edupreneur Success Community, where we'll have weekly challenges as well as member spotlights. There will be collaborative support and resource sharing for you there. We'll meet monthly on Zoom as a group and enjoy ourselves by learning from one another. If you would like to contact me, my email address is hello@drericajewel.com. You can also follow me on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, and on YouTube. I've placed there my TikTok QR code if you'd like to follow me there. But on each of these platforms, my handle is @Dr. Erica Jewel. Now I am curious to know, what questions can I answer for you? Do you have any questions for me that I can answer? If you do, put them in the chat or you can come off mute. I'll stop sharing now and see what those questions may be.